Hey guys, my name is Daniel. I'm a 24-year-old who just started their own business, and I just wanted to create this channel as a way to document my journey, to help other young people who also want to start their own business, and just a way to hold myself accountable. So a little bit about my journey and how I got to this point. During college, just like every other college student, you're confused about what to do, what major to choose, just what path to take in life. There's so many different paths and so many different things you can do. So, it was a hard time to know what to do, but I thought, what the best thing I can do is just try things out. And that's what I did. I tried different jobs. I tried real estate. I tried consulting. I tried tax. And, it was a good experience. I learned from all of this. But I didn't really know what I wanted, how I wanted to take my career. But one thing I did know is corporate just wasn't for me. I just didn't really want to be somewhere where I don't have the freedom to work on the projects I want, to grow something of my own, to really put in that work and see those rewards. So I always knew I wanted to start business. I had that spark in me. I just didn't know what to do or how to use my skills to start a specific business. So, this was always a thought in the back of my head. But fast forward to about a year ago when I was about to graduate from college, I was really confused. I didn't know what to do. It was really hard time for me. It was scary because you're like, high school, it's easy. They tell you what to do. College, you have a set, you have to do these classes, you have to do this internship, there's a set date to graduate. But then after that, you kind of have to figure it out on your own. And I guess that's like something that you don't realize. But once you graduate, you really, really have realize how it's just you taking ownership. No one's telling you what to do. No one's going to come out here and just hold your hand. You have to figure things out on your own. So that's what I did. I was about to graduate and I decided, let me try something new. Let me try a completely different thing just to see how it is. I tried working at a school for about a couple months, let's say from January to June I worked. So it was like the second half of the year I worked at a school. It was something that I've always been pretty interested in. I volunteered with youth before and it was something that was good. And I'd say it was a great experience. I learned a lot, but inside of me, I couldn't shake the wanting to have my own business. So summer of 2025, I was, just reflecting on what to do. I have my accounting degree. I have this experience working at a school, but it's not really something that I'm 100% about. And I feel like my skills and what I want to do are more aligned with business and accounting. So I was just, researching, going on YouTube, looking at videos, just finding out how can I use these skills to start my own business. And that's when I came across bookkeeping. And with bookkeeping, I was amazed that there is, people providing these services to small businesses, something that I have some experience having done before when doing internships. And also when I was in college, I helped a family member with their books in their business, and I was just helping administer the finances there. And I really liked that aspect. I really liked to understand the numbers, understand the story behind it, and I really saw the value in that, and that really motivated me to get into bookkeeping. So what I did was I said, all right, let me just start researching bookkeeping. I researched, I watched videos, I got on QuickBooks, I learned the system, I got certified, a Pro Advisor certification. And I said, I have all this knowledge that I learned in college I also have these internships. I worked with small businesses in real estate. I consulted small businesses. I helped with their books. And I was like, I have all these skills and knowledge here. Why not put it to work? Why not go out there and try something of my own? And that's what kind of led me, really to dial down and say, I got to take action. No one's going to come here and save me. I have to go out there and do my thing. And, at the same time, I was trying to apply to accounting jobs. And as you know, like the market it's tough right now. It's tough for recent college grads and for young people. And it's easy in these times to get down, to listen to all the negativity, to think, wow, it's just not fair. It's why does this have to happen to us, to our generation and our time, whatever, all these things. But, I thought this is such an abundant universe and there's so much opportunity out there. I can't just be here all down, all negative, just not taking action. I was like, I need to do something. I can't just be sitting here. Yeah, maybe there aren't a lot of like entry jobs at the moment in accounting, but I'm not going to just sit here and just complain or just say, I'll just accept that that's what it is. No, I have to take action. And there's just so much abundance in this world. Why can't I, have some of that? Why can't I have financial stability? Why can't I have financial freedom? So I just decided, I'm gonna take this leap. And after, months of thinking about it, I was like, I have to take action now. I have to do something now. I have to take ownership of my life. So that's what I did. After all that research, I'm like, I just got to start. And that's been about a month ago when I started my business. I opened up the LLC, I registered, I got the EIN, did my website, opened my social media pages, and started working on the onboarding processes, started my pricing strategy and thinking about marketing. And just starting, when you first start something, you're obviously not going to know everything. You're not going to know what you're doing. You're just figuring it out as you go. But it's action. It's the things you do every day that will they will compound and they will get you to where you want to go. But you can only control your inputs. We can't control all these other external factors, what's going on with the economy, these things that are going on with the world, like all these things, there's just out of my control. I can't control them. But what can I control? I can control what I do every day, my inputs. So that's what I'm basically doing right now. I took the leap. It's scary at first. It's a path that you really don't know where it's going to go, but I just know that if I put in work every single day and I'm consistent with it and just do the work, it's going to work out. There's just so much abundance and there's just so much out there for all of us to be able to do, to really be able to use what we're passionate about, to be able to use what we're skilled at and just form our own businesses. I feel like the way that this world is moving, it's moving to more of a world where less people are going to be working a typical 9 to 5, the corporate job, and more young people are going to have to say, well, hold up, I'm doing everything they told me to do. I went to school, I got the grades, I did the internships, and then I graduate and it still isn't a clear path to so-called success. I did everything they told me and it's not working. So it's time for us to start carving our own path, to take ownership of our lives. Don't wait for others to come and offer you this job or this opportunity. You have to go out there and look for them. No one's going to just come to you. And that's something I'm realizing when starting my own business. At first, no one knows me. People don't know what I do. And this is why I'm creating content. This is why I'm creating a YouTube, to get my name out there, to tell people what I'm doing. And just as a way really to just hold myself accountable and build something of my own.